Call to order the Gurnee Village Board meeting, July 10, 2023. Roll call, please.
Garner. Here. O'Brien.
Present.
Almus. Furstenson.
Here.
Woodside.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
5 present, 1 absent.
You all stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome, everybody. We'll start with the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
5 aye.
Motion carries. Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the June 26, 2023 meeting. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2023-39, authorizing the execution of a school resource officer service agreement and reciprocal reporting agreement with Woodland School District 50. Item number 3, approval of ordinance 2023-40, authorizing the execution of a school resource officer service agreement and reciprocal reporting agreement with Gurnee Grade School District 56. Item number 4, approval of ordinance 2023-41, authorizing the execution of a school resource officer service agreement and reciprocal reporting agreement with Warren Township High School District 121. Item number 5, approval of fire department request to purchase a 2023 Chevrolet Silverado from the low bidder, Raymond Chevrolet, at a cost of $48,866.70, fire department unit number 1355. Item number 6, approval of granting a Class 9 liquor license and waiving the fee for the Warren Newport Public Library for its Library After Dark fundraising event on October 7, 2023. Item number 7, approval of payroll for period ending June 30, 2023 in the amount of $1,007,015.62. Item number 8, approval of bills for period ending July 10, 2023 in the amount of $1,520,753.35.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
5 aye.
Motion carries. On to the next item, petitions and communications, administration of oath of office for the promotion of firefighter paramedic Scott Rands to fire lieutenant. Chief, come on down, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor, Village Administrator Mutes, and Board. Feel like we just did this about 2 weeks ago. We're kind of back. So tonight we have the opportunity to have another promotion within the fire department. Similar to last week, we have an individual who's been waiting for about 17 years for this promotion. That means he's been testing and going through the same rigorous process that the last individual went through. Scott Rands has been preparing for this prior to being a firefighter. Scott actually came to us very unique, one of the few. He came to us as a chemist. How many people can say they worked at the Abbott Laboratory and the laboratories, switched over from a chemistry major to be a firefighter? Kind of a unique path to get there, but he had to work exceptionally hard once he had his bachelor's degree to earn all the certificates and everything to just get in the door of the fire department. And he's continued that same work ethic throughout his career in the fire department. Scott has continued on with his education. He's the president of our pension board. He has been for the last 10 years. Every member that comes in the door, Scott welcomes them, gets them up to speed on the pension system, works with them, makes sure all their benefits and everything are in place, and he does an outstanding job. Most recently, about a year ago, Scott had the opportunity to start acting as an acting officer, an acting lieutenant. He probably did this for about 70% of his shifts. Scott's done an excellent job at it. He worked under DC Douglas prior when he was a battalion chief. They prepared him for the spot well. When we brought Scott in, myself and the deputy chief brought Scott into the office to offer him this position, one of the things we asked him is, what is the most important thing? How do you see the role as a lieutenant? Scott quickly answered to us, to make the others around me better than I am. He saw that, he did that. Dave and I didn't let him get off that easy. We said, Scott, you do an excellent job. When people come in, you immediately mentor them, start with them. But the thing we noticed with Scott, sometimes you take the easy way with them and you make good friends with them, you get along with them. One of the things we challenged you to, and you accepted it in the office, is to have the tough conversation with the guys. To make them better than you is to go out of your comfort zone and go to that next level. And you said you were willing to do that. I know you've already been starting to work on it and studying for it, and that we challenge you. If we're gonna be the best fire department we can be, we need you to be the best lieutenant you can be, and I know you have everything it takes to do that. So if you can come up and join us for the oath of office, your family as well.
So raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Scott Rans,
Having been appointed to the office
having been appointed to the office
of Fire Lieutenant
of Fire Lieutenant
in the village of Gurnee,
in the village of Gurnee,
in the county of Lake,
in the county of Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Fire Lieutenant
Fire Lieutenant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Good job. All right. So Scott, you get a chance to respond to Chief. Chief gets to say all these things, and this is your opportunity in public to get him back. So here you go.
He probably knows me better than anybody, and everybody in this room knows that I'm a man of few words. So I'll just start by introducing my family, my wife, Casey, my daughters, Ava and Scarlett. I have family from Indiana, my dad, my mom, my stepdad, my brother, my sister, and my in-laws are here, my sister-in-law, Kelly, and my father-in-law, Mark, and my mother-in-law, Pat. Thank you very much for everybody being here, support me. It's an overwhelming honor. I can't put it into words. My brothers in blue, also thank you for being here. And thank you to all the chiefs that have said nice things to me and gave me encouragement and positive reinforcement. So thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be more words and cake and stuff at the station. So please see us over there. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. So just like last time, this is just a great time for us. Again, internal promotions is really something the Village of Gurnee likes and so appreciate public safety here in the village. It's second to none. And Scott's another great example of that in terms of what we see in town, that someone that's dedicated to this. So yeah, you can't leave Scott until I'm done talking, so. So yeah, congratulations, so, all right. So the next item is the presentation of the Gurnee Police Officer of the Year Award to Officer Phil Louie. Did you already know that, right? No, sorry. And Police Civilian of the Year Award to Community Service Officer Hector Barraro. So, let's see, Chief, is that, no. Who's Jeremy, right? Jeremy, you're coming.
Unfortunately, the mayor ruined the surprise, so now they know. Just real quick, the process for this, during the year, officers are evaluated, but the nominations come from their peers and their supervisors. And at the end of the nomination period, we gather them all up and it's brought to a review board. And then there's a process that goes through where 2 people are selected from from that pile, and one is the Civilian of the Year, and the other one is the Police Officer of the Year. And the criteria is using, the person has to have exceptional and professional demeanor and attitude the entire time for that last 12 months, including service. And there's two people that, above all else, stood out. So the first one is Hector Barrero. So Hector, if you can come up here and everyone stare at you while I talk. Okay. Community Service Officer Hector Barrero has made a name for himself in the Gurnee Police Department, but his journey started even before he was hired. Prior to joining the department in January 2022, Hector was a security supervisor at Warren High School's Oak Plain campus. His work with the school resource officers caught their attention, and they became his most prominent advocates for coming to work at the police department as a CSO. From the moment he started, Hector made a lasting impact on the department and the community. As a bilingual employee, he has helped translate countless hours of conversation for the investigations division and officers alike. He has set himself apart from others in the department, and his colleagues have taken notice. But it's not just his skills that make Hector stand out. His infectious personality and joyful demeanor have earned him praise from his colleagues and the community. A background investigating detective noted in her final comments during his hiring process, I quote, "His joyful personality is contagious. He will be a great fit," end quote. And she was right. Hector has remained the same person he was when he was hired. It's no surprise that Hector was named the 2022 Civilian of the Year. He's truly made a difference in the Gurnee Police Department family and the wider community. Please join me in congratulating him.
Thank you, everybody. I want to thank my family for always supporting me, my wife, everybody, my brothers, everybody, fire, everybody. Thank you.
Bill, come on up. Phil Louie came to the police department in 2018. When Phil graduated from the police academy, he was awarded the Bureau of Training Award from the Illinois State Police, indicating he was the most professional and consistent leader in his class. Phil has taken the role of a leader as his calling card. He's a firearms, defensive tactics, and use of force instructor and a field training officer, which makes him also an asset, which allows him to grow and mentor our new officers. Phil is trilingual, which also makes him an asset to our diverse population of residents and visitors. When he is not on patrol in Gurnee, he is a member of the Northern Illinois Police Alarm System Bike Response Team and a homicide investigator for the Lake County Major Crime Task Force, responding to scenes throughout the county. In 2019, Phil was one of 2 off-duty officers in Woodfield Mall when a crazed man drove his vehicle through the mall attempting to hit patrons. When the vehicle became stuck between support columns, Phil and the other off-duty officer pulled the man from the vehicle and held him until the other officers arrived. Phil's bravery and devotion to duty have carried on since then, with him earning 5 unit citations, 2 letters of commendation, and a letter from a Highland Park for his response to the 4th of July active shooter tragedy. When Phil isn't playing soccer or hockey, he's the vice president of the Gurnee Fraternal Order Police Social Lodge, whose primary function is to give back to the community. With all of these things that Phil excels in, there is one that I would be remiss if I didn't mention. During November and December, we allow officers to grow out facial hair as a fundraising event for our Shop with the Cop program. Phil is all in on this fundraiser. And he is known for his extraordinary handlebar mustache that would put any early 1900s police officer to shame. So please join me in congratulating Phil.
Gosh, thank you. God, I almost don't know what to say. That was quite the introduction. Thank you. No, thank you so much for the support. I feel blessed and honored to be up here. From my parents and my grandparents that made the drive out here, my team, command staff, administration, board, fire, and ultimately you guys, the citizens in this community. I've had a whirlwind of a career over the past 5 years, but one thing I've always felt was support. So I can't thank you guys enough for that. My team, you guys are my backbone. You guys are the best. You know, somebody's got to receive this award every year, and I'm lucky enough to be up here today, but those guys, every one of them are more than deserving to stand up here and receive this award as well. They put their best foot forward every night, and I have so much pride in working amongst them and working for this community in this department. When I graduated the academy, there was a trooper down there a couple days away from retirement. He handed me a little card and said it was the key to a successful career. This card hangs on my locker. I read it every day. And it says, do what you're supposed to do, the way you're supposed to do it, and then do it again tomorrow. And I've embodied that. My team has embodied that. This department has embodied that. And I hope you all feel the same pride that I do working and being part of this community. So thank you all. I can't thank you enough. I never know how to end these things, so I'm just going to say thank you one more time and give it back to Mayor.
So we're proud too. So thanks for you guys coming out tonight to support our guys in blue, and thank you. So we're not done, but I'm guessing some of you are leaving, right? So yeah.
Check that out. Pick good.
He says the last 5 years have been a while. He said it has been.
So on to item number 3, acceptance of Lori Hubbard's resignation from the Civil Service Commission. Just recognizing that, there won't be any formal action as far as that's concerned, but it makes a way for the approval. Item number 4 of my recommendation to appoint Erica Wyman to the Civil Service Commission. Any questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Trustee Thorstensen, second by
Garner.
Trustee Garner. Yes, I didn't know if it was you or
Remember me?
Kevin. Yes, I remember you. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
5-0.
Motion carries. So no reports, no old business. On to new business. Item number 1, approval of ordinance 2023.
42.
Removing 2 Class 1 liquor licenses by amending Section 6-56 of Article 2 of Chapter 6 of the Gurnee Municipal Code entitled Alcoholic Beverages. Pat?
Sure. So once we get through the renewal process, we reconcile the municipal code with what's actually issued, and we do this via ordinance, so it's easier for staff to keep track. We had 2 entities in town, Sori and Tanya's Savvy Events, that are no longer selling alcohol, so they did not renew their Class 1 liquor licenses. So it's appropriate for the board to remove those 2. That takes it down to 29 Class 1 licenses that are allowed by the code and currently active within the community.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve? Second.
Motion by Trustee Thorstensen, second by Trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
5-0.
Motion carries. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2023.
43.
Adding 1 Class 1 liquor license by amending Section 6-56 of Article 2 of Chapter 6 of the Gurnee Municipal Code entitled Alcoholic Beverages, Taco Pros, 6681 Grand Avenue, Unit A-1. Pat?
Sure. So Taco Pros recently opened in the former Dickey's barbecue space on Grand Avenue. They applied for Class 1, which allows for the sale of alcoholic liquor for consumption on premise were sold, as well as to-go mixed drinks, which is allowed per the state now. Police Department reviewed the application, found nothing to preclude issuing the license, and it's before you for consideration.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve, or
So
this motion? Motion by
Second.
Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Woodside. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Five aye.
Motion carries. Item number 3, approval of ordinance 2023,
44.
adding one Class 16 liquor license by amending Section 6-56 of Article 2 of Chapter 6 of the Gurnee Municipal Code entitled Alcoholic Beverages, BP Gas Station and Convenience, 350 North Hunt Club Road. Pat?
Sure. So you remember back in March, the village board approved amendment to the municipal code, creating a new Class 16 license available to gas stations that include a convenience store with a commercial kitchen and meet some minimum requirements such as building size. Sales are limited to beer and wine only between 9 and 9. The space inside that they're allowed to sell is limited to, if it's a walk-in cooler, 275 square feet. If it's shelf display or behind glass doors, no more than 4 cooler doors, not to exceed 14 continual lineal feet. BP at Washington Hunt Club meets the requirements as far as the building size, commercial kitchen, et cetera. They've applied for a Class 16. Similar to Taco Pros, Police Department reviewed the application, found nothing to preclude it. If approved, obviously staff will be out there to take a look at the business to make sure all the other requirements as far as access to the coolers, the electronic identification scanning, all that's in place before sales start.
Any discussion or questions to my right? Trustee Thorstenson?
So were there any concerned residents that came forward on this property?
Yeah, so good point. We did receive an email at 6:22 this evening from Barbara and Art Stevens at 5740 Regency Court. The email's been provided to you. That was the only communication we've heard from the public related to this specific liquor application.
And I guess I was meaning specifically residents immediately adjacent, nothing at all.
This email is all we've heard regarding this application.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody to my left? Any comments?
I do have a comment. You know, I'm uncomfortable with this because, you know, it is decisions. I mean, there's beer and wine. Okay, big deal. You can get it pretty much anywhere. But I think in this case, we're opening the door and we're going to create a different identity for Gurnee. We have the community that we have because of what we've been doing. So I'm real careful about, you know, where we may be going. You know, we can say it's just beer and wine, but it's beer and wine sold in gas stations, which we've never had before. And it's going to change our community. To what degree? Who's to say? But I'm concerned whenever we have to put a lot of restrictions on how it's sold when you can simply go across the street and get it at the local grocery store. So I just wanted to say that you know, Gurnee is what it is because of what we've been doing, and that says a lot about who we are. And you know, and that's caused us to be a safe and quiet community. And I think this is a step in a different direction. And you know, once you say yes, you can't go back. So just, you know, I just wanted to put on record that you know, this to be considered.
I guess my comment just would be agree to disagree. I find that throughout the community, alcohol has been made readily available, and I have a difficult time trying to distinguish between a facility like this and Cardinal Liquors or other places that are able to sell alcohol in town. I haven't heard anything from the police department to indicate otherwise, and the neighborhood, at least in this particular area, there isn't really a house that I'm thinking about. Maybe there's one house that's close to this particular gas station, but beyond that, there isn't residential that's immediately next to it. So I don't find it to be a egregious use like you do, Greg, but I get it. So we each have our own opinions. Anybody else? Trustee Ross?
Is this the one that has a Dunkin' Donuts?
Yes.
So I guess I'm having a little bit of a problem knowing how alcohol goes with donuts.
Well, it's a convenience store also. I mean, it's not just donuts, but I get it. There is donuts there.
I'd like to hear from the petitioner about how they came to that decision.
Is the petitioner present? Oh, yes. How did you come to the decision? Do you want to ask the question? Sure. Sir, if you'd just like to state your name and step up to the microphone.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Amin.
All right. And you are the owner or operator of?
I'm the operator and he's the manager. I mean, he's the owner, I'm the manager.
Okay. Of BP Gas Station 350 North Hunt Club, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, thanks. Trustee Russ?
Just how did you come to the decision to want alcohol along with donuts?
To sell alcohol next to donuts. Because donut is a different section of the gas station. It's not like, there's a door between a gas station and Dunkin' Donut. It's totally separate. So I think there is no issue selling a liquor or a beer in a gas station while a Dunkin' is next to it. How we decide? And I think
Right,
like
I mean,
we need.
Not ask questions from the.
I mean, we decided to have a liquor and alcohol just to try to get some more income for us because we pay like a lot of taxes there. It's like, I think 70 or something thousand of property tax.
You could please state your name, sir.
My name is Dixit Patel, and I have so many gas stations, already 8 gas stations. I have this Lake County, Lindenhurst, and Gurnee. 3200 Sand Lake Road, Lindenhurst. I have there before only beer and wine. Last 2 weeks before, city issue for hard liquor. So now I selling beer, wine, and liquor for Lindenhurst. Next door Dunkin' Donuts, and middle coming for some chicken store. Same thing I am here, gas station, next door glass middle, so gas station is separate, and other side a restaurant. So restaurant coming for
Wing zone.
wing zone.
I'm sorry.
Right.
So it's Dunkin', then there is a space that we're gonna.
You need to speak into the microphone.
Sorry. So there is a Dunkin' to the left side, and there is in the middle, we're gonna put a wing zone. We already applied for it. So it's gonna be Dunkin', wing zone, and gas station. So the gas station will be off far way to the right, and Dunkin' will be to the left side. So in between will be a wing zone there.
You say wind zone?
Wing zone.
Wing.
Oh, okay.
Look like a wing stop.
Oh, okay.
Same thing, Wing John, new franchise, before already Illinois. But he's out of business, now come back again. So I already apply. Very soon I want to apply for building department.
Okay.
That's why I make a drywall and empty spot. So I need a 2 restaurant, liquor, beer, and wine.
Okay.
And this one, I need safety. I have this area, Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, Prime Outlet Mall, next. There BP, our BP too. There I have beer and wine, but nothing, any ticket.
So
Nothing.
we never had a ticket like for underage or something.
I want a safety first.
Yeah, we already have like a system has like when you scan your ID and we'll tell you like how old are you, and we never have a ticket.
Not tobacco, not for liquor, not alcohol, anywhere. So safety, I want most important, And this beer section, I make separate cooler, not for same cooler, for drinks area. So this one I built for coffee side and fountain side, separate beer cooler, beer case.
And sorry, I'm gonna add something else. The liquor will be like behind counter. It's not gonna be in the shelves. So all the wine, the small wines, all the stuff will be behind the counter. It's not gonna be like reached to like a Manners or something.
Trustee O'Brien?
Thank you. Clarification, did you say you have 6 fuel stations already, convenience stores, and the 5 of those 6 have alcohol in them?
Yes. The one has alcohol, one in Pleasant Berry, Wisconsin, Lindenhurst on Sand Lake on 45, and one West Chicago.
So 3, okay. And then my question, I know we have a certain square footage that's required and the commercial kitchen. Is the commercial kitchen the one that's considered Dunkin' Donuts? And is the 4,000 square feet or whatever our requirement was, is that including Dunkin' Donuts or is that a side of?
It's the entire building.
Entire building, thank you.
Any questions to my left? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any comments or questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by trustee Woodside,
Second.
second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Nay.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Nay.
It's 3-2.
Right, I votes yes. All right, motion carries. On to public comment. Anybody that would like to make a public comment, if you'd like to step up to the microphone, state your name.
My name is Art Stevens, 5740 Regency Court, Libertyville. I'm sorry, Gurnee.
You lived a long time in Libertyville.
Actually, most of you know because I've been here before. In March, many of you, no, 3 of you voted against the change in the ordinance. And your worst nightmare at that point was you were going to open up the ability of other businesses in Gurnee to apply for liquor licenses. This is your worst nightmare. It was pointed out that only one email came in, and that was because of the due diligence of my wife, who noticed it and sent an email at the last minute, because this information is not available in a general basis. So nobody has an opportunity to have any kind of open discussion above and beyond what was already talked about in March. It doesn't make any difference that they meet all the requirements. It's irrelevant because the issue is the vote was 4-3, a very close vote, and the concerns at the time were it's going to open up the village to having all sorts of requests because any owner worth their salt and worth owning a business is going to try and make more money, which is all these gentlemen are trying to do. Now, that's not bad. That's what they're in business to do. But I'd also like to point out that it's completely irrelevant to the village of Gurnee whether or not 5 of their 6 other gas stations sell liquor. They're not here in Gurnee. They're somewhere else. So what's happened is exactly what some of you were concerned about in March. And I realize that it's a matter of opinion. But the opinion is once you open up, my opinion, my wife's opinion, is once you open up the floodgates, then you're going to get everybody who knows anything about what they're doing in business requesting a liquor license. And all of a sudden you are changing the way the village is looked at. You are changing the way life happens in the village. There are plenty of opportunities to buy liquor of all varieties in the village. We do not need more. And a number of you saw that in March. I'm concerned that you don't see it now. And this is clearly an indication of the way things are going to go. Everybody who wants a liquor license in the village of Gurnee should apply for one because they're going to get it, because you're not going to stand in their way.
Yeah, no response. This is just public comment time where there's no interaction that occurs. No, yeah, I know. You just have to just let that go. I can talk to you afterwards.
Hello, Shelley Palmer, 6304 Doral Drive, Gurnee. When Gurnee trustees decided to pursue the possibility of granting liquor licenses to gas stations and convenience stores, they researched surrounding communities' ordinances, the financial impact of liquor licenses in Gurnee, and crime associated with the new ordinance if passed. Based on the tie vote with Mayor Hood breaking the tie, this is a difficult and soul-searching decision by all trustees. Beer and wine sales won. The Illinois Liquor Commission also put a lot of thought and effort to create a publication to help communities navigate Illinois liquor sales. They created a publication to help communities ensure compliance with the Illinois Liquor Control Act, compliance with rules and regulations of the Illinois Liquor Control Commission, as well as compliance of all local liquor ordinances across all levels of government. Their mission statement is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Illinois through careful control and regulation of the manufacture, distribution, and sale of alcoholic liquors, and through development of strategies to reduce youth access to alcohol products. Also, officials of the Village of Gurnee put a lot of thought and effort into creating the municipal code that governs our community. It's a very detailed document that's been adopted for the promotion of public health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the citizens of Gurnee. Accordingly, Section 6-17 of the Municipal Code states no liquor license required by this chapter shall be issued if the location is determined to be detrimental to the general character of the surrounding neighborhood and the projected impact of the premises upon the surrounding neighborhood or the village as a whole would be considered detrimental. There can be, as we've seen, a wide range of opinions on the merits of granting a liquor license, especially if the only criteria you have to rely on is the general welfare of the neighborhood and village as a whole. That's why I'm respectively urging trustees to adopt additional objective criteria for granting future licenses. My recommendation, once again, is no license shall be issued within 100 feet of any church, school, except colleges and universities, hospital, home for the aged, indigent person or veterans, or any military or naval station or residential neighborhood in the Village of Gurnee. There's a reason these documents were written, and I feel it's important to follow the guidelines set forth by the Illinois Liquor Commissioners and Gurnee officials, as they are meant to protect our community and its citizens. Mayor Hood and trustees, please don't disregard these documents that were written by our state and by trusted and respected Gurnee officials. Thank you.
Thank you. There's not going to be any other public comment, then at this point, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by trustee Thorstensen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.